In the quiet corridors of Brussels and the sun-baked streets of Hargeisa, a silent partnership is taking shape. European diplomats, security advisors, and development experts are increasingly present in Somaliland, their visits rarely making headlines. They arrive discreetly, hold closed-door meetings, and lay the groundwork for a future few discuss openly. This is the untold story of Europe's strategic pivot toward a nation that officially does not exist. While the world focuses on chaos elsewhere in the Horn of Africa, the EU is quietly cultivating an alliance with Somaliland. Evidence is everywhere: European-funded infrastructure, advanced training for Somaliland's Coast Guard, and strategic investments in state institutions. Europe is embedding itself into Somaliland's fabric, preparing it for a day when sovereignty is no longer a question but a fact. The silence is intentional, progress without diplomatic uproar. Europe needs reliable partners in critical regions, and Somaliland, stable and democratic, stands out. Quiet diplomacy and under-the-radar support are Europe's way of building a relationship before making a move that could reshape Africa's map. The process is already much further along than most realize: a silent revolution in African diplomacy. Somaliland's value to Europe rests on four pillars: democracy, security, stability, and trade. In a region marked by conflict, Somaliland is a rare democratic success, holding peaceful, internationally monitored elections. Supporting Somaliland is a strategic asset, proving democracy can thrive even in tough environments. Security is paramount. Somaliland's coastline sits astride vital shipping lanes, and its forces have kept extremists at bay. This stability creates a buffer zone directly benefiting European maritime security and counter-terrorism. Somaliland's peace and social cohesion make it a reliable partner for development and investment. For Europe, which has spent billions stabilizing the region, Somaliland is a model that works. Its strategic location makes it an ideal trade hub between Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. With untapped resources and a growing livestock trade, Somaliland offers a low-risk entry point for European businesses. This combination of values, security, and opportunity makes Somaliland a partner Europe can no longer ignore. Europe's approach to Somaliland is silent engagement, deep cooperation without formal recognition. European delegations visit Hargeisa, building networks and embedding influence within Somaliland's government. Informal diplomatic missions, liaison and program offices, function like embassies, coordinating aid and dialogue. Capacity building is key. Europe funds infrastructure, supports governance, and strengthens Somaliland's institutions. Military cooperation is discreet but vital, with training and support for Somaliland's security forces. These efforts help Somaliland police its borders and waters, combating piracy and terrorism. Europe outsources security to a capable local partner, reinforcing Somaliland's claim to statehood. The result: a future ally, ready for international recognition. Europe's engagement with Somaliland is driven by mounting geopolitical pressures in the Red Sea. Instability in Yemen, Ethiopia, and Somalia has made the region a security nightmare, with Houthi attacks exposing vulnerabilities. Somaliland's peaceful coastline is now a vital strategic asset for Europe. Competition with China and Gulf states for influence in the Horn of Africa is intensifying. Engaging Somaliland helps Europe counterbalance rivals and secure its interests. Somalia's weak government and persistent instability make continued support for a unified Somalia increasingly untenable. Somaliland delivers stability and security at a fraction of the cost. Ethiopia's need for sea access makes Berbera port crucial, and Europe sees an opportunity to foster regional integration. Supporting Somaliland binds the region together and gives Europe leverage over its future. At the heart of Europe's interest is the transformation of Berbera into a world-class deep-sea port. Backed by the UAE and European finance, Berbera is becoming a major commercial gateway and alternative to Djibouti. The port anchors a new economic corridor, connecting Berbera to Ethiopia and opening vital trade routes. For Europe, this is economic statecraft, fostering integration, stability, and making Somaliland indispensable. Berbera's success proves Somaliland's viability, attracting investment and undermining claims of instability. Control over Horn of Africa ports is now central to great power competition. Supporting Berbera gives Europe a secure regional foothold and a logistical base for maritime security. The port transforms Somaliland from a political question to an economic and security necessity. Within Europe's foreign policy circles, a quiet roadmap for Somaliland's recognition is taking shape. The first phase, normalization through cooperation, expanding aid, offices, security partnerships, and investment. Next, integration into multilateral bodies, starting with technical organizations and moving toward regional groups. Gradually, Somaliland's presence on the world stage becomes normalized, paving the way for UN membership. The final phase, coordinated recognition by a coalition of European and African states, providing political cover. The trigger could be a crisis in Somalia or a formal request from an African body. Europe's strategy is patient, methodically dismantling obstacles until recognition becomes unavoidable. Despite the logic and roadmap, major hurdles remain for Somaliland's recognition. Somalia's government, backed by international consensus, fiercely opposes any move toward Somaliland's independence. The African Union's stance on colonial borders makes most African states wary of setting a precedent. Without AU support, European countries hesitate to lead on recognition. The EU itself is divided, with some states cautious due to historical ties to Mogadishu. This internal division keeps Europe's policy practical but non-committal. Ultimately, recognition requires a shift in the international narrative and a bold political decision. Until then, Somaliland remains a de facto state, a key European partner in all but name.